Now, I know I'm charting into, unknown territories with this topic, but I just have to pose the question. What is the difference between what Drake did and what Gunna did? Now, obviously, there's a key difference, and one is essentially potentially backdooring his mans or, his friends, quote unquote. So he can get out and he can thrive and he can do whatever he needs to do while also being signed under that label, by the way. I just want to make that clear. He's still signed to YSL. Versus Drake, where he kind of not only snitched on himself a little bit and exposed himself to really be not like us and all this culture, but he was more or less telling the entire world what UMG does as a business practice. So like everybody didn't know that they press an imaginary button to gaslight a record so it can go crazy, right? Everybody knows that, right? They might not admit to it, but everybody knows it. And he kind of just exposed that. That was kind of one of the more interesting things about that lawsuit. But about 2 months ago, I posed the question of, I'm curious to see what rappers actually collab with Drake who stand on this code of, no, a rat is a rat. Because if a rat is a rat, technically they're still rats. Both of them are rats if you're standing on this code. Gunna's potentially a rat, right? And Drake is a rat. So if you're standing on the code of, no, a rat is a rat, I'm curious to see what rappers actually want to collab with Drake in the next couple of years. Obviously, there's going to be rappers that are going to collab with Drake, right? Like, I think we can 1000% confidently say 21 Savage is going to be somebody that's going to do a Drake song in the next 2 years, right? Drake even confirmed that him and 21 Savage are still friends. I think we can 95% guarantee that Young Thug is also going to do a Drake song in the next couple of years, all right? Especially because Young Thug is openly trying to piece up the relationship between Future, Metro Boomin, and Drake. So I think that's going to happen. Lil Baby, I don't know. But I'm kind of curious to see everybody else and where they fall into that domino effect. Because Young Thug and 21 Savage and Lil Baby, all three of them have openly been shitting on Gunna for the past, 2 years? And hip hop kind of exposed them because it exposed this fallacy of like, nah, bro, in hip hop, we stand by this code, bro. Like, we don't mess with Stitch, we don't mess with none of that, bro. And then Gunna went on to sell $120 each time he dropped. And, went on to have top 5 albums, in the charts for a couple of weeks. Grammy nominated, like, he's gone on to be even more successful than when he first went into jail. So that's why I'm asking the question, because I'm just honestly confused as to where the code ends. Because for me, right, I think everybody's human and everybody's allowed to pick and choose on what they want to subscribe to and what they don't want to subscribe to, right? I think that's just a very human thing to do, and honestly, we should be more accepting to that in nature. So I'm not necessarily calling them super hypocrites. What they're doing is hypocritical, but I'm not necessarily calling them hypocrites. All I'm saying is that what is going to be their justifiable way to explain their way of trying to view what Gunna potentially did and what Drake necessarily did? Like, they both didn't go talk to the feds. Like, they both didn't go talk to the cops. Now, again, I'm not some street guy. So just logically speaking, what Drake is doing shouldn't fly with anybody, because you lost the battle and then you ran to the cops. Like, that's not crazy. That's not crazy to y'all. And that's why Kendrick Lamar is saying, you're not like us. And again, I don't want to make this a hate Drake video, but it's more or less a critique on this rap culture that was preached to us for so long, and then as soon as Gunna got out, that it got immediately debunked. So I know this video is kind of getting long-winded, but I'll kind of give you an example. If you're watching Invincible, then you'll understand this. If you're not watching Invincible, you can go ahead and click off. Peace out. But if you're caught up to Invincible, you understand that everybody doesn't really like Mark Grayson right now because they feel like he's not standing on a code, right? Or is being a hypocrite to his code. And that code is, there's no justifiable reason to kill anybody, and you shouldn't be killing anybody. But then he killed somebody and he's justifying that, saying, no, that's different. When you have his brother Oliver and you have Cecil and you have even his father, who all stand on principles and codes of, it's not different. Killing is killing, regardless. Are there justifiable reasons to kill? Yes. But what Mark is saying, that there's no justifiable reason, but yet he did it, right? Which means that he's going back on his code. Cecil, Oliver, and Nolan each all stand on the code of, we know what we're doing is necessarily wrong in the moral view and landscape, but at least we're standing on it. Nolan was willing to die about what he was doing, right? In terms of turning his back on the Viltrumites. He was willing to die for it. But you know what that means? He's standing on a code. He's standing on his point. So again, to tie it back in, I'm interested to see what rappers are going to stand on that point of, if it started in a rap, it ends a rap. Don't bring nothing else into it, right? If you're a rat, you're a rat. Period, in the discussion, and we're not gonna associate ourselves with you. Because when Drake comes calling, let me tell you something. That Drake stimulus package come calling, oh boy, we gonna see who and who not. That's all I'm gonna say.